Hi dear students, today we discuss the topic electromagnetic induction. It is the third chapter in physics, electromagnetic induction. All of you are most welcome to our class. First, electromagnetic induction. In the first chapter we already studied electrical energy can be converted into many other forms like light energy, mechanical energy, heat energy, etc. In the second chapter, we study about magnet. Magnet is any substance that attracts iron or iron-like substance. Magnet has two poles, north pole and south pole. Like poles repel each other and unlike poles attract each other. A freely suspended bar magnet aligns itself in nearly north-south direction. These points are we already studied in the second chapter. In the third chapter, we studied about electromagnetic induction. Whose picture is this? Who is the father of electricity? Yes, Michael Faraday. Michael Faraday's picture is this. This Michael Faraday experimentally proved that electromagnetic induction, firstly, the electricity is generated when a conductor is moved in a magnetic field. Electricity is generated when a conductor is moved in a magnetic field. This was experimentally proved by Michael Faraday for the first time. For this experiment, Michael Faraday take a magnet, bar magnet, a solenoid and a galvanometer. What is galvanometer? Galvanometer is a device used to understand the direction and magnitude of even a small current. For finding direction and magnitude of even small current, galvanometer is used. For this experiment, arrange the above materials as shown in figure. Insert the magnet into the solenoid and pull it out successively. In the first picture, we can see the bar magnet is pulled into the solenoid. Observe the deflection of the needle of the galvanometer. Observe the deflection of the needle of the galvanometer. Into the solenoid, the galvanometer is deflected into left side. We can see the galvanometer is deflected into left side. Left or right, any other side, no problem. But there is a deflection. That deflection shows that there is a current is in this. In the second picture, we can see the bar magnet is out from the solenoid. The bar magnet is taken out from the solenoid. At that time, the needle of the galvanometer is noticed. The galvanometer has a deflection and it is in the opposite side. The galvanometer deflection is in the opposite side. Into the coil, it is in left side. Out to the coil, it is in the right side. Any side, it is a no problem, but there is a deflection. That is the main point. We are noticed that. And the deflections are in opposite sides. This is the experiment done by Michael Faraday. Then one table is given in your textbook. Record your observations in the table given below. Okay. In this we can see that the magnet is stationary near the solenoid. There is no deflection. ND means no deflection. Direction, no deflection, so there is no direction. North pole of the magnet is moved into the solenoid. There is a deflection. Third situation, the magnet is stationary inside the solenoid. At that time also, there is no deflection. In these cases, we can understand that when the magnet is stationary, there is no deflection. But when the magnet is moved, there is a deflection. Okay. In the fourth situation, then magnet is moved out of the solenoid. The magnet is moved out of the solenoid. There is a deflection because there is a movement, so there is a deflection. Fifth case, the south pole of the magnet is moved into the solenoid. Magnet is moved into the solenoid, south pole. At that time also there is a deflection because there is a movement. In the sixth case, magnet and solenoid are moved in the same direction at the same speed. Both magnet and solenoid are moved in the same direction at the same speed. At that time we can notice that there is no deflection. There is no deflection. In the seventh case, the solenoid is moved, keeping the magnet stationary. At that time also there is a movement, deflection. In this we can identify that there is a movement in the magnet or solenoid, there is a deflection. But in the case there is a movement in both magnet and solenoid, there is no deflection. Also, when the magnet or the solenoid, anything is stationary, there is no deflection. Okay? Repeat the experiment using magnets of greater strength and increasing the number of turns in the solenoid. On the basis of this experiment, we can complete the table. We can identify that deflection of the galvanometer needle increases when number of turns increased, strong magnet is used, magnet or solenoid moves with greater speed. In 3 cases, deflection of the galvanometer needle is increased when number of turns increased, strong magnet is used, and magnet or solenoid moves with a greater speed. These are the conditions. Why did the galvanometer needle deflects in the experiment? Whenever there is a change in the magnetic flux linked with a coil, an EMF is induced in the coil. Whenever there is a change in the magnetic flux linked with the coil, കോയിലുമായിട്ട് ലിങ്ക് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്ന മാഗ്നറ്റിക് ഫ്ലക്സിന് എപ്പോഴെങ്കിലും ഒരു ചേഞ്ച് വന്നാൽ അവിടെ എന്ത് സംഭവിക്കും? ഒരു ഇ എം എഫ് ഇൻഡ്യൂസ് ചെയ്യപ്പെടും. ഇൻഡ്യൂസ് ചെയ്യപ്പെടുക എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ പ്രേരണ ചെയ്യപ്പെടുക. ആൻഡ് ഇ എം എഫ് ഈസ് ഇൻഡ്യൂസ്ഡ് ഇൻ ദ കോയിൽ. ദാറ്റ് ഇ എം എഫ് ഈസ് കോൾഡ് ഇൻഡ്യൂസ്ഡ് ഇ എം എഫ്. ഓക്കെ, ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് എ ഷുവർ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ഫോർ വൺ വേർഡ് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ഫോർ എക്സാമിനേഷൻ. Why did the galvanometer needle deflect in the experiment? Okay, then which were the instances in which there was a flow of current to the solenoid? Which instances in which there was a flow of current through the solenoid? സോളിനോയിഡിൽ കൂടി കറണ്ടിൻ്റെ ഒരു ഫ്ലോ ഉണ്ടാകാനുള്ള സാഹചര്യം എന്താണ്? Whenever there is a relative motion between the magnet and the solenoid, there is a flow of electricity. Whenever there is a relative motion between magnet and the solenoid, there is a flow of electricity. അതായത് നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ മുമ്പത്തെ എക്സ്പെരിമെൻറ്റിൽ കണ്ടതാണ്, മാഗ്നറ്റും സോളിനോയിഡും തമ്മിലുള്ള റിലേറ്റീവ് മോഷൻ വരുന്ന സമയത്ത് അവിടെ എന്ത് സംഭവിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്? അതിനകത്തൂടെ ഇലക്ട്രിസിറ്റി പാസ് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. ഇലക്ട്രിസിറ്റി പാസ് ചെയ്യുന്ന സമയത്ത് മാത്രമാണ് ഗാൽവനോമീറ്റർ നീഡിൽ ഡിഫ്ലക്റ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. ഓക്കെ, which are the factors on which the direction of induced current in electromagnetic induction depend? Factors on which direction of induced current in which electromagnetic induction depend. Electromagnetic induction അകത്ത് ഇൻഡ്യൂസ്ഡ് കറണ്ടിനെ ഡിപ്പെൻഡ് ചെയ്യുന്ന ഫാക്ടേഴ്സ് ഏതൊക്കെയാണ്? ഡയറക്ഷൻ ഓഫ് മാഗ്നറ്റിക് ഫീൽഡ്, ഡയറക്ഷൻ ഓഫ് കണ്ടക്ടർ, ഡയറക്ഷൻ ഓഫ് ഇൻഡ്യൂസ്ഡ് കറണ്ട്. വാട്ട് ആർ ദ 3 factors? Direction of magnetic field, direction of conductor, direction of the induced current. Study it well. What may be the factors affecting the induced EMF? Induced EMF നെ affect ചെയ്യുന്ന factors ഏതൊക്കെയാണ്? Number of turns of the coiled conductor, magnetism, movement of magnet and solenoid. When number of turns increased, the deflection also increased. When strong magnet is used, that is magnetism is increased, deflection of the galvanometer needle is also increased. Movement of magnet and solenoid with the greater speed, deflection of galvanometer is increased. Then it is in slow rate, there is a deflection of galvanometer needle is in slow rate. Okay. The factors affecting induced EMF are number of turns of the coiled conductor, magnetism, movement of magnet and solenoid. Then next we can notice that it is, what is it? It is the picture of galvanometer. What is galvanometer? Galvanometer is a device used to understand the direction and magnitude of even a small current. In the normal position, the needle rests at 0. Normal position, the needle is rest. It is used to find the direction and magnitude of current passing through it. Galvanometer is used to find the direction and magnitude of current passing through it. If there is no current, then there is no deflection. That means there is a deflection, there is surely that there is current. When current passes, it deflects right or left. Any side, it is not bothered. When current passes, it deflects. The deflection increased with the increase in current. When current is increased, the deflection is also increased. Next, we can see electromagnetic induction. What is electromagnetic induction? Whenever there is a change in the magnetic flux linked with a coil, an EMF is induced in the coil. This phenomenon is known as electromagnetic induction. Whenever there is a change in the magnetic flux linked with a coil, an EMF is induced in the coil. Magnetic ഫ്ലക്സിനകത്ത് കോയിലിനോട് ലിങ്ക് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്ന മാഗ്നറ്റിക് ഫ്ലക്സിന് എപ്പോഴെങ്കിലും ഒരു ചേഞ്ച് ഉണ്ടായിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അവിടെ ഒരു EMF, ഒരു വോൾട്ടേജ് ഇൻഡ്യൂസ് ചെയ്യപ്പെടുന്നു, പ്രേരണ ചെയ്യപ്പെടുന്നു. ആ ഫിനോമിനന് പറയുന്ന പേരാണ് ഇലക്ട്രോമാഗ്നെറ്റിക് ഇൻഡക്ഷൻ. ദ കറണ്ട് ദസ് ഇൻഡ്യൂസ്ഡ് ഈസ് ദ ഇൻഡ്യൂസ്ഡ് കറണ്ട്. The current thus induced is the induced current. The voltage induced is the induced EMF. The voltage induced is the induced EMF. Here we can study three things: electromagnetic induction, induced current and induced EMF. Study it thoroughly. Okay. Factors affecting induced EMF. What are the factors affecting induced EMF? We already studied number of turns of the coiled conductor, magnetism, movement of magnet and solenoid. For the exam point of view, given a note for you, factors affecting induced EMF are number of turns of the coiled conductor, strength of the magnet, speed of motion of either the magnet or the coil. Coil means solenoid. Which are the factors on which the direction of induced current in electromagnetic induction depend? Direction of the magnetic field, direction of motion of the conductor or coil. The British scientist John Ambrose Fleming discovered that the induced EMF would be maximum if the conductor is moved perpendicular to the magnetic field lines. The direction of induced EMF can be obtained from Fleming's right-hand rule. The direction of induced EMF can be obtained from Fleming's right-hand rule. Next we study about Fleming's right-hand rule. Observe the picture of the hand. Imagine a conductor moving perpendicular to a magnetic field. Stretch the forefinger, middle finger and the thumb of the right hand in mutually perpendicular directions. If the forefinger represents the direction of the magnetic field and the thumb represents the motion of the conductor, then the middle finger represents the direction of the induced current. Forefinger represents the magnetic field, thumb represents the direction of motion of the conductor. Then middle finger represents the direction of the induced current. It is Fleming's right hand rule. Study it thoroughly. Do not confusion with Fleming's left hand rule and right hand rule. Study both of them thoroughly. It is a sure question for examination. Listen the picture once more. Fleming's right hand rule. If forefinger represents the direction of magnetic field, thumb represents the direction of motion of the conductor, then the middle finger represents the direction of current. നമ്മൾ ഫ്ലെമിങ്ങിൻ്റെ ലെഫ്റ്റ് ഹാൻഡ് റൂൾ പറഞ്ഞപ്പോൾ പറഞ്ഞ ഫാദർ മദർ ചൈൽഡ് 3 ഫിംഗേഴ്സ് തന്നെയാണ് ഇവിടെ റൈറ്റ് ഹാൻഡ് റൂളിൻ്റെയും. പക്ഷേ പുള്ളി ഡിഫറൻസ് എന്താണെന്ന് ചോദിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഡയറക്ഷൻ ഓഫ് മോഷൻ ഓഫ് ദി കണ്ടക്ടർ തമ്പും ഡയറക്ഷൻ ഓഫ് മാഗ്നറ്റിക് ഫീൽഡ് ഫോർ ഫിംഗറും ആണെങ്കിലാണ് മിഡിൽ ഫിംഗർ ഡയറക്ഷൻ ഓഫ് കറണ്ട് ആകുന്നത് എന്നുള്ള കാര്യം കൂടെ ഒന്ന് ഓർത്തിരിക്കുക. ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് എ മെമ്മറി ടിപ്സ് ഫോർ യു. നെക്സ്റ്റ് എക്സ്പെരിമെൻറ്റ് activity. The galvanometer, cell, resistor and switch are connected in series. Circuit is switched on. After connecting galvanometer, cell, resistor and switch connected in series, then circuit is switched on. What happened? Then deflects only in one direction. We can see that the galvanometer is deflected only in one direction. The second experiment, the galvanometer is connected to a solenoid. A magnet is moved in and out continuously in the solenoid. What is the observation? We can see that deflects in the both positive and negative direction. The galvanometer needle is deflected in both directions, that is positive and negative directions. The first experiment, the current flows in unidirection. Unidirections means one direction. Shows same magnitude. But in the second experiment, changes direction periodically. That means positive, negative in this manner. Changes direction periodically. Shows different magnitudes. In this experiment, we can understand that AC and DC currents. The first one, unidirectional current, is DC current, that is direct current. In the second case, the changes direction periodically, that is alternative current, positive and negative directions. What is AC and DC? A current that flows only in one direction continuously is direct current, that is DC. Current flows only in one direction continuously. It is DC. Current that changes direction at regular intervals of time is an alternating current. Current that changes direction at regular intervals of time, changing positive and negative directions, it is an alternating current. This is the difference between AC current and DC current. Study it well. We already see the definition of AC and DC. AC current means current that changes at regular intervals of time. It is the graphical representation. Positive and negative direction current changes. In direct current, DC current, current that flows only in one direction continuously in a direct current. Continuously in one direction, that is DC current. It is the graphical representation for AC current and DC current. What is meant by direct current, DC? Current flows only in one direction. What is alternating current, AC? If the direction of current changes at regular intervals of time, it is an alternating current. Direction of current changes at regular intervals of time, it is alternating current. Unidirectional, that means one direction current flows, it is DC current. Thank you for watching the class. Just watch the class many times and understand it thoroughly, then study it well. God bless you. Keep fine.